My name is Marco Antonio Ennis. In my occupation, I'm a fashion designer, Antonio Sardi Clothing Company, recording artist. I'm a community organizer, father of 6 girls, 6 beautiful girls. I'm a son, a friend, a brother, uncle. And I'm here to tell my story, share my story, called The Bank Attack. It's a musical biopic that's based on actual events that happened in my life around 2007 and 2011. I fell into foreclosure and didn't know what foreclosure was at the time. And so this is my story of that situation. The Bank Attack is also an LP. It's an album that was inspired by me going to city life, Vida Urbana, in search of assistance, resources, help, and trying to find out what foreclosure was all about. When did I learn I was facing foreclosure? It was June 2009.
Exterior, in his house in the front, it's daytime. Lionel, an educated black man, and Valerie, an outspoken black woman with Afrocentric hair, wearing neon yellow City Life, Vida Urbana t-shirts ring the bell. Antonio comes to the door.
What y'all selling?
Man, we ain't selling anything.
We're from an organization called City Life Vida Urbana, which is a grassroots organization that fights foreclosures, displacement, and evictions.
Okay. That's nice. That's righteous. What y'all at my house for?
So we help homeowners facing foreclosure. You know this house is in foreclosure, right?
This house in foreclosure?
This one, yeah.
Nah, I own this house, man. I would know if it was in foreclosure, don't you think?
Actually, brother, there's a good chance you may not know, because banks tend to use deceptive practices, and you may have a predatory loan.
Well, I think y'all got the wrong house, but I'm trying to watch a football game, so y'all have a good day, all right?
He starts to shut the door.
It's public record that your house is in foreclosure.
Just listen, just listen.
At that time, I didn't know what City Life was.
City Life Vida Urbana is a grassroots community organization committed to fighting for racial, social, and economic justice and gender equality by building working class power. We promote individual empowerment, develop community leaders, and build collective power to effect systemic change and transform society.
Yeah! Antonio looks at bills in an envelope with a red stamp that says, urgent. He opens it. A worried look comes over his face and reads, notice of intent to accelerate. Chandralis enters bringing in groceries. Antonio quickly stuffs the bill in a drawer. She notices. He gives her a kiss, and they put the food away.
How was your day?
It's good. How about yours?
Same old, nothing major. Working on some new music.
What's the matter?
Nothing's the matter. Why would you say that?
Because I know you. Are you hiding something from me again? If it's a bill, just let me know.
I'm not hiding anything.
Foreclosure? Why would you hide that from me?
Relax.
This isn't something to play around with.
Relax. I'm going to a CDC. They're going to give me assistance.
What's a CDC? And when were you going to tell me all this?
The CDC is a community development corporation. They're gonna help me get a loan modification, but I can't get it until I fall behind in like 3 months.
Are you serious? What are we gonna do? We're gonna be homeless? We're having a baby.
We're not gonna be homeless, baby. It's not gonna happen. I know, and I'm not gonna let nothing bad like that happen. I'm gonna fix this, okay?
But we were supposed to be a team, work together. You gotta let me know these things.
Interior CDC building moments later. Antonio sits facing a desk with a workout counselor, Karen, a middle-class black woman. She examines Antonio's paperwork.
So what's the status with my loan modification?
I spoke to the bank representative and they offered you a 3-month trial period plan for $3,400 a month.
What? That's $1,000 more than what I'm paying now. I can't pay that.
Do you have any relatives that can move in and contribute to your income?
Listen, first of all, that doesn't even modify the loan to help me. That's like digging a deeper hole. And I got 5 daughters. I got a baby on the way. No one's moving in with us.
Well, this is what the bank is offering. If you don't take it, I can't help.
I can't take that. I won't take that.
Well, do you realize what you're doing?
No? Yeah. Maybe. I don't know. I know my family's owned this house since the 60s, and I grew up in this house, and I ain't giving it up without a fight. My grandparents came here and put in a lot of hard work in search of the American dream for us. Nah, I'm not gonna let somebody take that.
I understand your feelings, but there's only so much I can do. Here, try this organization. City Life? Maybe they can help.
City Life again?
Antonio grabs his paperwork and walks out.
So where did I go for help? I went to City Life Vida Urbana, and it's a grassroots organization. Been around for 45 years. They've been fighting displacement, rent hikes, banks. They've been organizing tenants and buildings to fight back against landlords for years. And so I went there, didn't know anything about them, and started to learn their methods and the 3-legged stool that they have, which is the sword, the shield, and the offer. Which is the sword represents public pressure and protest. The shield represents their legal defense team that they have in-house, free lawyers for homeowners and tenants that don't know their rights. And the offer is when all of those pieces of the movement, organizers, lawyers, elected officials, senators, all of those people work in conjunction at some point to either get a settlement for a homeowner or a tenant.
Antonio comes out of his house and sees a moving truck and 3 movers taking stuff out of the house across the street. His neighbor Martin, an older gentleman, tall, dark-skinned, wearing a worn mechanic suit, and Martin's wife comes out with bosses. Grandson Brandon and Sal hold an action figure as well as an iPad.
What's going on, Martin?
Bank foreclosed on me, man. You need a 72-hour notice to quit.
Where you gonna go?
Where am I gonna go? Probably to hell, man. I ain't got no place to go. I've given everything 65 years in this neighborhood. I remember you used to come when you first moved in there as a strong young boy. Yeah, man. I got no place to go, man. Ain't no sense in that. Ain't no sense in that.
So I volunteered to go to an eviction blockade, and what that consisted of me volunteering would be me leading chants on a bullhorn, supporting other members, definitely trying to support the family members on whatever that they're going through that day, and ultimately to try to prevent the moving truck from removing the family's personal belongings. It was the first time that I've seen a family physically removed from their house, taking out their house and then put onto the street, and the doors locked up. I'm just seeing all this stuff going on, and I'm standing against a street pole, and it made tears run down my face. And I've seen a lot of things in my life, and been close to a lot of things that are much, much worse than that, and never made me cry. Never made tears roll down my face, but this situation was like, wow, this is really going on to millions and millions of people right now in America, and what's being done about it. And so that day changed my look on certain values and what I look at in life that's important. That day helped me to kind of shape things in that manner. And so I rode home in my car from Randolph, which is about 20 minutes from my home in Dorchester. Just in silence, just thinking to myself, wow, I really just seen a family go through it. What you know, I had compassion for them. Like, what are they gonna do? Those little babies, the kids, it was like, what are they gonna do? Where are they gonna go? Like, what's gonna happen now? It was crazy. And so I kept thinking, what can I do? What can I do within all of this, just as one man? So I started to think about music. And that's when the Bank Attack album was born. So this is the Bank Attack album. And this album was recorded in 2012 at Easy Street Productions, engineered by Andrew Shaw.
When I come back, y'all better not boy, you ain't got deep over here, bro. Alright, you talk, alright? We're gonna see what's up. We'll be right back.
However you want to get it poppin', my block.
Whoa, what's up? Ain't y'all beefing? You ain't wax your brother, man?
Yeah.
Yo, come here, man. Let me holler at y'all for y'all do something all y'all regret, man. First of all, that's not gangster, man. Y'all know who's really a gangster? Brian Moynihan's gangster. Who? Jamie Dimon's gangster. Yeah, who? Exactly. Y'all don't even know. Brian Moynihan is the CEO of Bank of America and Jamie Dimon is the CEO of Chase. They putting families out their homes. And this house right here is in foreclosure. Whose house is this? My house. This is your house? Your moms know y'all in foreclosure? Nah, I bet she don't, man. What y'all beefing about anyway, man?
Kids.
Who cares?
Kids. I don't know, but it's heavy.
Nah. See, you shoot him, he shoots you, you kill him. Banks own these prisons, man, and they get paid from that. So you just put money in their pocket, man. So y'all need to dead that. Y'all can come to our meeting every Tuesday. You know what I mean? Y'all come there. I'll show y'all how to organize this anger y'all got with the right enemy, Bank versus America. Y'all ready to fight these banks?
Yeah, man, I guess so, man. Let's
That's what it is, man. Me go in here and talk to your mother, try to help y'all save this house.
Like I said, when I was coming home from my first eviction blockade, I was trying to think of what can I do to spread the word. The main thing that was weighing on my mind was like, well, people need to know about this. If people don't know about it, it's going to keep happening, and you're going to see millions of people standing outside of the house they just once lived in. And so it was like, what more people need to know? So me being a musician, my music has always been my outlet. My music has always been a way for me to express myself or express something that I think other people might want to express, or any type of messages or any type of to get me through any type of pain in my life. Or music has always been my escape.
It's time to wake up and get with the movement. Hear the message in the music now. We could fight back, or we could lay down, or beat back the bank attack and stay proud. They got bailed out, we getting sold out. Some living underwater in their own house. They hear the word foreclosure, they get scared and think it's all over. But nah, the fight just begun. It ain't gonna be easy, but it must be won. Cause Bank of America's bad for America. Congress held hostage, they kidnapped the treasurer. This ain't the dream in the land of America, but we could change that if we stand up together. Demand something better than the status quo. We elect, they neglect, then they have to go. We gon' beat back the bank attack. We gon' beat back that bank attack. We gon' beat back the bank attack. We gon' beat back that bank attack. Set up with the people, yeah. And down with the bank, those greedy banks. Set up with the people, yeah. And down with the bank, those dirty banks, yeah.
Exterior Montague house, daytime. A huge mansion-like, multi-million-dollar house with a big lawn, swimming pool in the suburbs. A big luxury car pulls up, a chauffeur starts to get out, but Rebecca jumps out. Bianca follows.
Henry, please, I can open it myself.
Seeing the house, Bianca's jaw drops down in amazement.
Damn, y'all are forcing it. You live here?
Rebecca blushes, embarrassed by the opulence.
I know, it's ridiculous. My parents are such snobs. I can't wait to move out of here.
Rosa, dear, would you just wait another 5 minutes for dinner? Jared should be back in a minute.
Rosa nods and returns to the kitchen. Rebecca rolls her eyes. Bianca sits quietly, peek at the family. Jared Montague struts in. He's pregnant, enjoying his life of privilege.
Good evening, Mother. Good evening, Father. Rebecca, who's your friend? Someone from the basketball team?
Sorry, no. Her name's Bianca, and she's an actress. A great one, actually, who can dance and sing. And we're practicing for a school play Fiddler on the Roof.
Jared has a seat. And there is a tense silence as Rosa serves dinner. Bianca observes quietly, feeling out of place.
You can't expect her to amount to much if she continues dressing that way, let alone associating herself with people like that.
She's been rebellious for quite some time. And she's getting worse. I gave her everything she wants. Who knows what she wants?
It's a teenage phase. Rebecca seems to really like Bianca. They're working very hard on the play.
I'm sure. So, Father, tell me, are there any foreclosure auctions to look forward to this week?
My bank has 2 triple-deckers on Martin Luther King Boulevard.
And there's a multi-unit property over by the Fairmont stop on the commuter rail. Prices are set to skyrocket as that place becomes more accessible to the downtown.
Right.
Jared rubs his hands together greedily as Elizabeth looks on, concerned about her son's selfishness showing on her face.
Right, of course. And how much did you say for that one? I mean the multi-unit. And how many units?
9 units, 3 bedrooms each, about $1 million.
And if I flipped them, I mean, as condos, what? Each unit would fetch $500,000, 600?
You can almost see dollar signs popping out of Philip's eyeballs right now.
Don't get too greedy, Jared. Remember the old adage, do unto others as you would have them do unto you.
Brian and Jared continue as if Elizabeth isn't even there.
You know, Jared, you need to get those tenants out of there first.
Yes. Well, I had actually been meaning to speak to you about that. You see, we ran into some resistance at the last auction. I don't know who was behind it yet, but they were well organized. They had picket signs, these horrible yellow t-shirts. Someone was screaming into a bullhorn. I mean, they caused quite a commotion, Father.
Well, don't worry. We've got more than enough money to offset any message that they're putting out.
Of course we do. Tell me, Father, do you have any photos of these properties, any addresses I could scope out?
Ryan leaves and returns with some large glossy photos of the properties and floor plans. Jared looks through them, hungry look in his eyes.
So beautiful.
If you don't live here,
then you don't fly here.
We won't leave without a fight.
Housing is a human right. Yeah.
Valerie, smiling, walks towards Antonio with the bullhorn.
Let me find out you're really a rapper, not telling us. You want to try it?
Try what?
Leave it a chance. I'm sure you could add some flavor to it.
Yeah, I mean, I know how to rock a crowd, but this is a bunch of offbeat people.
Well, put him to a beat then.
All right, I'll try. All right, what do we do in the back's attack?
Stand up, fight back.
Yeah, what do we do in the back's attack?
Stand up, fight back.
Stand on power like the power of the people.
But the power of the people don't stop.
Say what? Banks got bailed out.
We got sold out.
Banks got bailed out.
We got sold out.
My
second big action was me taking my case, which was with Bank of America, and making it public and organizing about 3,500 organizers from here to California to descend on the Bank of America headquarters here in Boston. It was the biggest protest against Bank of America in history. For that day, I wanted to have a song that we could use while we're marching down the streets of downtown Boston, all through the financial district. I wanted to have a song that we could rejoice and sing together and be empowered as we march. So that was the first song I created, was called The Bank Attack.
Interior private school lobby. Moments later, Antonio stands with Bianca and Miss Ram.
Yes, Bianca's a very talented actress, but I'm concerned a little bit. She seems distracted in class lately and her grades have been slipping.
Yeah, we've been having some family issues, but I'm really concerned. I want to make sure her grades are up to par.
Of course. It looks like this play was a really good way to vent a lot of emotion. And you're a natural actress, Bianca. You should be proud.
Yeah, she always amazes me too. So.
The The teacher nods and waves as she leaves. Rebecca runs over, dragging her parents by the arm.
Mom, Dad, I want you to meet Mr. Ennis, Bianca's dad. He's like the coolest dad.
Mr. Montague crosses his arms.
Really, Becky? So what am I, chopped liver?
Hey, listen. Chopped liver came with ties like that. I wouldn't mind being chopped liver myself.
The men shake hands.
Call me Antonio. Yeah, Becca's been over a few times. Practicing with Bianca. She's got a great daughter.
Thanks, I'm Brian Montague, and this is my wife, Elizabeth.
Nice to meet you.
Antonio stares at him, recognition setting in.
Brian Montague, American Bank CEO?
Mm-hmm.
You aware of all those foreclosures going on at your bank, man?
Elizabeth tugs on her husband's jacket.
It's been a pleasure meeting you all.
We should talk sometime.
Congratulations, it's late, we've got to go. Becky?
Brian and Elizabeth leave, baffled. Rebecca follows her parents and waves goodbye.
It's common knowledge of the protests that I've led at bank CEOs' homes on Beacon Hill in Maryland, Virginia. I've organized rallies that have disrupted presentations at prestigious colleges such as Harvard University several times. I've used those rallies and protests to get, first-hand contact of bank CEOs, where I can call, on the phone and say, I have a case and I need you to help me with this case. So I've climbed that ladder of trying to get to who can actually call the shots, who can actually help people out. That was my whole thing. Always want to push the envelope and take it a little bit further than just protesting at the banks.
Interior, Brian Montague's office is daytime. Brian sits at his desk. The secretary calls on the intercom.
Yes?
Mr. Jerry's here to see you.
Send him in.
Jerry, always drunk yet spying, stumbles in looking out of place.
I got some news for you, boss man. This is gonna cost you 2 bottles of Jack Daniels and $300 in reduction of my rent.
Sit down, what are you talking about, Jerry?
Boss, listen. They caused these radical fools about you. They're bringing some serious heat to you.
What are you talking about, radical fools? And what's heat?
Brian reaches into his desk and hands Jerry a bottle of Hennessy.
Man, these people about to get to you, man. Something they never did before. They're organizing a rally in front of your house.
My house? Where I live with my family? Look, I don't have time for your drunk games, Jerry. Who's organizing this? Give me some names.
Give me some drink. This new guy, Antonio.
Wait a minute. Antonio Ennis?
Yeah, that's him. That's him. He's getting people all activized and stuff.
Are you sure he's the guy, Jerry?
100%, boss man.
All right. Good job, Jerry.
I thought about it, and it kind of was a good idea. The album already kind of had a soundtrack done, and I started thinking that if we did write a movie, how would we write? What would we write it about? And, would it be based on my life, and how much of my life, and what would we use it for, and what would be the It's one of those things where people say, if you wrote a book about your life, would people read it?
Henry drives. Brian, Elizabeth, and Rebecca are inside.
So Dad, is Mr. Ennis so cool?
Little girl, I am tired of hearing about how cool this Mr. Ennis is.
Why are you so rude? One, you didn't have to walk away. Two, I'm not a little girl.
Because the guy didn't know he was talking.
Did you know that Bianca might become homeless?
Don't worry about people losing their homes, Becky. The only thing you need to be concerned about is that we're not losing ours.
Bianca's my BFF.
BFF?
What planet are you from? Everyone knows BFF stands for best friend forever.
Becky, you don't have any friends. Your best friend is your money.
My friend might be homeless and I care about her.
Maybe we could.
Don't let your heart bleed for these people. They're just looking for a handout. A free ride through life and they don't want to pay their bills. I had to work hard to get to where I am today.
But Mr. Ennis has his own business. He works hard and he's still struggling.
Well, then he should get a job like everybody else.
He did get a new job and he's still in foreclosure.
Becky, I'm not going to go back and forth about poor people and their whining problems. I believe in hard work to get ahead in life. And now that the play is over, maybe you should think about getting some new friends.
Rebecca simmers angrily in the back of the limo.
Be aware. Be aware what's going on in our community. Where we live at right now, Roxbury, Dorchester, Mattapan, Hyde Park, and other areas like that across America are very attractive to people who are developers, people who have money that are looking to buy property and build condos and price out everybody that's living there. If we don't know what's going on, we can't fight back. Understand that the banks look at our community as a commodity. The only way to fight back against these injustices is to be united. Understand our value. One thing before I go I want to say is the movie Black Panther just grossed billions of dollars, $1 billion plus, predominantly on the black dollar. That right there should let people know. It should be a clear indication of the power of the black dollar when people want to actually spend their money for something that they think is a necessity. Now, is the movie a necessity? Maybe it is in a lot of ways. Obviously, a lot of people felt that way. So I'm just saying, you know, aside from the movie, just that the dollars that came from the black community is powerful. And one day we need to realize if we pool our own money together in regards to banks and schools and hospitals and, you know, everything, the things that is gonna really look out for us. Until we do that, it's gonna always be a fight. It's gonna be a generational fight. It won't end in my generation. It won't end in the next man's generation. It'll keep going on. These loan modifications ain't had enough. If it don't lower the interest rate, waive the fees and penalties and put them on the back end of the loan, what's the point? It's not helping out.
Well, I know you're really frustrated, but we should definitely appeal the loan mod. It'll buy us some time. And you still don't have a court date, and that's all a very good thing.
So what's the worst that can happen?
They can try to take court action against you to evict you, but if that's the case, then we'll file for a stay of the eviction action because they can't do that while you're still appealing the loan modification.
Wow, this is like, oh man, this is so stressful on me and my family.
Antonio, I can only imagine, but you may not know this, but we've had a lot of great legal victories out of city life. Some of them have really changed the shape of the foreclosure law in Massachusetts. So I'd like you to continue to have strength and keep faith in that.
Interior courthouse, mediation room, daytime, y'all. Antonio, Sandra Lee, Stan, Valerie, Brian Montague, attorney Laura, and Brian Montague's lawyer sit around a table.
Antonio and Sandra Lease, how do you feel about the offer? It's essentially a principal loan modification, which is what you've been after.
Yeah, for me it's cool, you know, for us, but it's not just about us anymore.
Attorney Laura nudges Antonio and whispers in his ear.
You should accept the offer. It's a good one.
Yeah, I know it's good, but I'm not doing this just for me. It's what about everybody else?
I'm not at liberty to change bank policy.
Are you not the bank CEO? You changed the policy for me just now. You need to put in place a real loan modification program that's gonna help our members. You know, there's a lot of families that can afford to buy their homes back, but you prefer to sell to the highest bidder. Sometimes you're selling it for less money than what the former owner is willing to pay.
Mm-hmm.
Why kick them out? It makes no sense.
Brian crosses his arm angrily.
Non-profit organizations are ready to buy, stabilize the community, and keep foreclosed homeowners and tenants in their homes. Why not give them principal reduction? That's what you do when you sell to speculators. And you jack up the prices. You know, these guys come in, they're buying these properties, gentrify the community. They're putting our people out on the street. Your son Jared, he's one of the worst. He's the most infamous, but I'm sure you already know that already.
Are you kidding? You expect me to throw all of the bank's money at you?
Actually, Brian, you should look at it like this, because you're smart. You're only paying back the taxpayers $700 billion that we billed you and all your bank buddies out with. When's the last time y'all talked about paying down on that principal?
Ryan stares at Antonio, an angry standoff. Chandelier holds his arm. Antonio looks empowered with his wife by his side.